Hey everyone, and welcome to my channel. Today I want to start the reading vlog for the second half of March. I am currently trying to build up my character for the magical readathon, so I have already put in some work for that. So I had to read 7 books for that, and in the first half of the month I managed to read 4 of these. So I have already gotten kind of like the additional stuff for my character. So I got the Locket of the Clear Mind and also the wand, and then I also have done one part of the novice pass, so I still have to do the second one, and I have done one thing for the actual character creation, so I still have to read like 2 books for that. Sorry about the cat. I hope she doesn't step on anything important while we're filming this. But yeah, so I still have 3 books to finish, and funnily enough, I'm kind of reading all 3 of them right now, so let's talk about them. The first one, that is the other part for the novice path, is Fool's Fate by Robin Hobb. I'm currently reading book 3 in the Tawny Man trilogy. I'm doing a whole reading vlog for that series, so I won't talk a ton about it here. I'm currently about a third of the way through the audiobook of that, and I think I will easily finish that one in the second half of March now, and I'm really enjoying it. It's Robin Hobb, what can you say? And then the other 2 books I'm going to start today, so it is a good day to start this reading vlog. One of them is a buddy read, so I kind of want to tandem read these next 2 books. So the buddy read is for Sorcery of Thorns by Margaret Rogerson. I said in my TBR that I'm not quite sure whether this has Fae, but someone in the comments said it did have Fae, so I'm still using that one for the prompt. I had a little bit of a struggle yesterday because my library hold for that encyclopedia of fairy whatever book, the very popular one, that hold came in, and then I was like, but I have a buddy read for this, so I'm just gonna stick with this one. So I'm buddy reading this with my booktube friend Kat. I will link her channel down below so you can go and check her out as well. And yeah, I'm intrigued to start this today and see how I like this one. I have read the first book from this author and really liked it. I was actually very surprised how much I liked it when I read it, so I have very high hopes for this one. And then the other one is also for a kind of vlog project that I have been working on for month, over a year by now. So I definitely want to finally read this book and finish that little vlog off. And for that, I want to read Love Saves the Day by Gwen. This is the terrible German cover. Yeah, every time I look at this, I don't want to read it, but it actually sounds pretty good. So this is about a cat, a rescue cat, and I think it tells the tale of this cat and from her point of view, or there, I don't know what gender the cat is, but yeah, I'm very excited to read this, even though every time I look at it, I kind of just feel an ache. So again, with this one, I probably won't talk a ton about it here because I'm doing that vlog project, and when I finish this book, it will actually be done. So I will actually hopefully post this in March or April. So that's very good. And yeah, these are the books I will be reading in the next few weeks. I'm not quite sure whether I will manage to do anything else, but that is all I have to do for that character creation before we go into April. And I will already have uploaded my April TBR for the Magical Readathon Spring Equinox, and that is a whole list of long ass books as well. So we'll see how all of that goes, but yeah, so far I'm excited. I hope you're too, and let's get this vlog started. So today is the 21st of March. I don't really have a substantial reading update, but I thought I'd just quickly check in with you. I'm currently a little bit more than halfway through my audiobook, Fool's Fate, which is the third book in the Tawny Man trilogy, and I'm absolutely loving it. Like, right now, it's so tense, like I don't know what to do with myself. Great audiobook. I'm so invested in these characters and in these storylines and what's going on, so absolutely highly recommend Robin Hobb if you have not checked out her books yet. I'm also currently halfway through Love Saves the Day. Fortunately, this one not working for me. I do think the main idea of a cat POV is quite cute, but what the story is actually about is kind of like marriage trouble stuff, and I do not care about these things at all. I don't want to be married. I don't care about married people, like what their problems are. So I will finish this, but yeah, more for the vlog that I'm reading it for than for enjoyment. And then last night I also started reading Sorcery of Thorns. I read the first 2 chapters. So far I'm really liking it. I think it's a very interesting start to the book. We are following a young girl called Elizabeth, and she was brought up in this library where dangerous magical books are stored, and she wants to become a warden, and those are people who protect these books but also protect the world from these books. It's all about how evil magic and sorcery is and why these books have to be locked away, so I'm very intrigued to see where the rest of the story goes. For today, I will have a lot of train travel. I am going home for a funeral, unfortunately, in my family, so I will probably work on the train, however, because it is a work day, and so I don't think I will do any reading today. But I hope for the weekend we can really pick up the pace a little bit. So today is the 24th of March, and here is a quick reading update because yesterday I finally finished reading Love Saves the Day by Gwen Cooper. Unfortunately, I did not like this book at all. I gave it 2 stars. This was just not for me, not a good book. If everything goes according to plan, then by the time you will see this vlog, the themed reading vlog where I talk about this one will already be up. So go check that out if you want to hear a little bit more about this book. But yeah, did not like it, and honestly the only reason I was able to finish it was Ali's 24-hour readathon thingy reading sprints that she did yesterday. Yeah, I did not like this book, so now I can focus completely on Sorcery of Thorns. I'm currently 50 pages in, so I have started the book. I am intrigued by the beginning of the book, so everything bodes quite well for this one right now, and I'm hopeful that this will continue. I don't know if I've talked about this one yet, but in this one we follow a girl called Elizabeth who works in this library for grimoires. I think I talked about that already. And now something very terrible has happened, and we have no idea where that journey will lead our main character. So I'm very intrigued to read more of this and update you later. And then for my audiobook, Fool's Fate, I have less than 10 hours left of the audiobook. So I'm not quite sure. I'm around 70%-ish. It's breaking me, you guys. It is breaking me. I'm not okay. I think this might be the first Robin Hobb book I actually give 5 stars. But I don't want to say it too soon. But a lot of stuff is happening. And I'm not okay. I'm not okay. So still working on that reading vlog for you guys for that series. So talk more about it there. But yeah, just letting you know right now, I'm not okay. So I'll update you when something else interesting happens, but if I finish these 2 books that I'm now currently reading, I will have finished everything for my character for the magical readathon, so I'm very excited. So today is the 30th of March. We are very close to the end of the month, and I'm also very close to getting my last 2 books finished. So I hope I can do it in time to then start my magical readathon TBR. So today is Sunday. It's a bit of an odd day because we had the clock changing to summertime last night, which is always terrible for me. I hate it. I especially hate this one where we get 1 hour less, because I already have a lot of anxiety around time and not having enough time. So losing an hour makes me so anxious. So I'm not feeling super great today. And then also today I got my first hate mail because of my work. So this is also a good reminder to not look at your work email on the weekend, which sometimes I'm really good about and sometimes I cave. So that was an interesting experience as well. I've never really received any hate mail before. So yeah, quite an interesting experience, I guess. We're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about my reading, and I wanted to let you know that I'm currently halfway through Sorcery of Thorns by Margaret Rogerson. This is a YA fantasy. I think I already talked a little bit about this in previous updates, but now that I'm halfway through, I wanted to let you know a little bit more of what is going on in this one. We do have 3 central characters. We have our main character, Elizabeth, who is part of this library, but then very early on in the book something happens and she is accused of doing something very terrible, and because of that forced to leave the library. And then she's trying to uncover kind of the plot behind all of that, because she didn't want to be sucked into this, but now she's in the middle of it, and so she's not gonna go down without a fight. And we have 2 characters kind of helping her on that way. We have Nathaniel, who is a sorcerer, and basically there is a lot of tension between these 2 characters, and I really like the way that is written. So far I am having a good time with that, even though this has romance in that regard, but it's a very minor plot. So if you don't like romance in your stories, I don't think this one will be overwhelming. There is very few scenes between the 2, and also there's a lot of chapters where Nathaniel doesn't even show up. So we'll see how the second half of this book goes, because I think there will be a little bit more development in that regard. But from what I've read so far, I wouldn't say that the romance is a very strong part of this plot. And then also we have Silas, and Silas is not human. According to what we know, he's a demon, but I'm skeptical. And I love Silas. He's so cute. He's a very particular kind of person. He likes stuff in very particular ways. He loves fashion. He loves being clean. And he can also turn into a fluffy white cat, which is very funny as well. So these are kind of the characters that this book centers around, and we kind of see how Elizabeth is trying to figure out what the hell is going on. So this book deals a lot with grimoires, which are magical books that contain knowledge about magic, and they're kept kept in these libraries, basically locked away for safety. And what's also fun is that these grimoires, they kind of live, like they can do things, like depending on like how magical dangerous they are, they can do different things. Some of them can like sing or moan or stuff like that, so it's a little bit funny in that regard. And I'm having a grand old time with this book. It's like really entertaining. The first half of this reminds me of a mix of Legendborn and The Familiar by Lee Bardugo. So we kind of have this like more adventure. We have a very headstrong female main character that is kind of going against the odds and not giving up, even though everyone is telling her that she is not in a position to win this. And we also have her like trying to figure out what happened to someone that she cared about a lot, someone who is now dead. I think the grief part in this could be explored more, like there's not a lot about that. And then we also have this like relationship between Nathaniel and Elizabeth that also kind of reminds me a little bit of like the Legendborn vibes, you know. I'm really liking this one. I will try to read the rest of this tonight and tomorrow so I can finish it in time. And then for my audiobook, Fool's Fate, I have, I think, about 25 minutes left of it. I'm trying to like drag it out, so I'm not finished with it. I don't know what I will do with myself after finishing this book. I have cried so much. That will be its own vlog that will go up after this one. But yeah, I'll definitely talk about the Tawny Man trilogy very, very soon. So yeah, that's how my Sunday's going. I hope you're having a lovely time. And I'll update you at least once more when I finish those two books. So today is the 2nd of April, so we're coming to the end of this video a tiny little bit late. And the reason for that is that I did not finish my last book in time, but because I want the April vlogs to be about Magical Readathon, I just thought, you know, I'd take one day longer to finish this book than finish out this vlog. And then the next vlogs will be Magical Readathon related to my calling. So the last book I finished was Sorcery of Thorns by Margaret Rogerson. I gave this one 4 stars. I had a really good time with it. I think this was just a really fun YA fantasy story. It was kind of what I needed right now, you know, not too deep, just something I could read in the evenings when I got home from work. So that was really lovely, and I really enjoyed the romance in here. It is a tiny little bit angsty, which I like for like books, and I think it played around with the trope of the male character a little bit, how he was just a little bit like traumatic at points, and then there was like I just really liked the way this book dealt with it. It just felt very unique and very aware of itself. So I had a good time with that. For the plot, I think the book is a little bit too long. I think it should have been a bit shorter because it is quite obvious what's going on. So when the characters have their like big revelations, I just felt like I have been there for like 50 pages already and been waiting for them to catch up. So that was really like my favorite thing. I felt like the beginning and the middle of the book I enjoyed much more than the end, and there were a couple of tropes that I don't always love reading about. However, they were kept so short, they were such a small part of the story that it didn't bother me too much. But there is quite a bit of gaslighting in this story, so if you are uncomfortable reading about that, as I am sometimes, then just be warned. Overall, really fun time, 4 stars, would recommend if you're looking for just a YA romp with a cute romance that, you know, you can root for. So the thing is, for the Magical Readathon, I read this one for a book with Fae in it, and now that I have concluded it, I wouldn't say there is Fae in it. There is demons. However, they are kind of like Fae-like as well. Like if you read the descriptions, I honestly, till the last moment, I thought that the big twist would be that they're not actually demons, that they are fae, and that, you know, something was done to their realm so that they turned into these demons, but alas, did not happen. So that's probably also why I found this solution a little bit disappointing, just because I had this big story in my head and we don't really get a lot of answers in the end about this world, about like how it all came to be. I don't know, I'm still gonna count it though. I'm still gonna count it because I talked about this in my TBR. Nobody said anything against it, so I'm gonna count it. Now, the other book I finished was Fool's Fate by Robin Hobb, which was my audiobook, and we'll have that whole like book discussion, series discussion for Tawny Man. But I gave that one 5 stars. It's my first like full 5-star book for Robin Hobb. Absolutely perfect. Are there things I could criticize? Yes, very much, but no. No, this book did like everything to me. It put me through all the emotions, and it's just great. It's just great. So with that, I have finished all of the books that I needed for my character creation. So I had 3 prompts for the character itself. So we had like Urban, which I read Nightcrawling for in the previous vlog. Then we had Etheria as the place where my character is from. For that I have Sorcery of Thorns. And we have Human, which I read Love Saves the Day for. And then we have the Novice Pass. For that I read Fool's Fate and in the last vlog Blacktop Wasteland. And then we have the gear up stuff, where for the Locket of the Clear Mind in the previous vlog I had read Cybernetic Tea Shop, and for the wand in the last vlog I had read Happiness Falls. So that completes my TBR for the character creation, and with that we will go into the semester. I'm very excited, and you will see that vlog very, very soon. I hope if you're participating in Magical Readathon, you're gonna have a ton of fun. And yeah, let's save those dragon babies. We already saved like the first one last night for the opening sprints. So yeah, I'm very excited to save those dragon babies, and I hope you will join and participate. And with that, I think I'm gonna end this vlog today. I hope you enjoyed watching. Leave a like and a nice comment. I always really appreciate it, and it really helps me out. You can also subscribe if you don't want to miss out on the Magical Readathon vlogs. And I will talk to you very soon. Bye!